Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to Sklar Brother Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods, aka the Basement Takes,
aka Two Jews, No Blues,
aka Two Guys, One Couch, aka Two Stances, 6 Feet,
aka Two Hombres, One Nombre.
There we go. I like all these. Keep them coming, y'all. Keep them coming. We are just trying to give you guys a little bit of a break during your day, 20, 30 minutes. As we try and comb through what is going on in the world and just trying to make you laugh. That's what we're doing.
And if you don't take the weight off in 30 days, your money back.
Okay, so this is for you guys. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed to this, who've told people about it, and are watching the clips on our Instagram. If you want to go back and see those.
If you want to watch the full episodes, we have a YouTube page called Sklar Brother Country that we just launched. It's super fun. Go to that
Trying to get
page.
as many people to subscribe to that as possible. If you are, if you've seen any of our clips on Instagram, if you go to @Sklar Brothers on Instagram, you can just go up in the bio and click on that page. Subscribe to that. That'd be great. We'd love to get as many people as we can on that. There's stuff going on in the world today, Jay. Yeah. And our first story is a fantastic one about. I put it in the category of cleaning.
Yes.
And look, the Jewish holiday of Passover couldn't have come at a better time.
Well, isn't
Passover's
it a spring cleaning?
That's right.
Like,
you clean everything out.
we were slaves in Egypt, so now become a slave to your horrible garage or whatever it is.
Or the diet that you have to eat. I mean, it's amazing that Passover is you clean everything out. Clean out all the old bread and stuff you have. Clean out all your cabinets from old stuff that you don't. Clean your drawers. Here's the only thing you're not cleaning.
Clean out your asshole. Yeah.
Well, you're not cleaning out your asshole because you're eating matzah.
You're stopped up.
You're stopping everything up. You clean everything out except for your colon.
Yeah.
Which, that seems like a weird thing. But it is the time of year where you're cleaning stuff. And now that we're at home, this is really a time that most people are really taking an opportunity to straighten stuff up. Because you don't want the walls to come in.
Well, you're already feeling like that. You're
already
feeling
feeling like they're coming
close.
in.
You're like, how can I get rid of some things so that my house feels bigger than it ever has before? What was that old? There was like an old
Jewish proverb.
where
I didn't mean to get too Jewy in this thing.
but where the guy goes to his rabbi. He could go to anyone. He could go
goes
to his bartender,
clergy.
his friend, his clergy, whatever.
Said my house is too
My
full.
house is too full.
It's crazy.
I have
And
too
most people
small
are
of a
feeling this
house, and it's crazy. My kids are loud, and my wife.
He's
is
like, you got animals, right? The guy's like, yeah. You got a lamb? Yeah, I got a lamb.
take the lamb and put it in the house. Sleep with the lamb in the house for 2 days, then come back and tell me
Guy's
how
like,
it
what are you
is."
talking about? He comes back 2 days later. That was awful. It's
worse.
And he's like, okay, you got a cow, right? Yeah, I got a cow. Put it in the house. The cow in the house too? This is the dumbest idea. Trust me.
2 days, come back and tell me how it is.
This is worse. This is way
cow's
worse.
knocking
I
things
really
over.
feel
What
like the house.
You got
is
chickens?
Yeah.
Throw the chickens in the house with the lamb and the cow
This is the
and the
dumbest
family.
thing ever. I'm not going to just do it. He does it, and then
Comes back and says,
this is the worst I've ever done. You're actually a terrible person to give
And
this
then the
advice.
rabbi says, now take them all out.
And he comes back and he's like, that was great.
Now
I
I
have room.
feel like he didn't say that was great.
He said, I feel like I have room.
He said, I never realized how much room I had.
Right.
And that's what you kind of start to do when you
Cleaning feels
when
good.
you're stuck and you start to
Organizing
clean that room
feels good. Cleaning, look, we cleaned our crawl space. We cleaned our garage. That was the best feeling ever. Cleaning the garage. I found old rollerblades, Jay. I might rollerblade around. I might be the guy who's rollerblading around in 2020.
up. You absolutely should, and I
just wanna
guarantee you'll fall.
I will fall the second I put them on, but I don't care. Hey, there comes Randy. He's rollerblade. Here comes rollerblading Randy.
Rollerblades make you so tall. They're
Rollerblades
insane.
make you so uncool.
The most uncool.
So there are some things though that you're trying to get rid of, and either it's hard to like drop them off at certain places. So there's a question as to what can I throw away versus what can I recycle.
Always. And I always err on the side of go ahead and try to recycle it. That's my thing. I'm like, it looks kind of papery, metally. Let's throw it in the recycling bin.
Well, there's some things that you want to get rid of, and you're not sure whether or not they fall in those categories, like
time?
your old swords, for instance.
I don't have any old swords.
Honey, when was the last time I took out the old sword? I mean, really swashbuckled with it. I'm not talking about just using it for s'mores outside in the backyard to put
You're
the
not talking
marshmallow-
about that?
No, I'm talking about really like, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father, prepare to die.
In
like
that way.
sort of a fighting thing. When was it been 10 years, hon?
Well, does it bring you joy? That's my question to you. Does it bring you any joy? If it doesn't, you got to get rid. You got to get rid of it.
Again,
Lean in.
I'm ready to rollerblade everywhere. Is all I'm saying right now. Found those. Like you just see, like remember when New York? We were in New York when rollerblading was a big thing. That's when we lived in New York.
You would see guys in suits rollerblading because they're like, I got to get down to my office.
What an asshole!
That guy sucks.
Just get started earlier.
Yeah, or take the subway. It's $1.50. Do that.
Just saying, dudes in rollerblades. All right, back to the sword. A couple days ago, Ontario Recycling Company up in Ontario.
In Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all the way up there near Brandon.
Company reminded residents to use some discretion when getting rid of unwanted items after someone attempted to recycle a sword, eh?
Why would they take the
Blue
sword?
Water Recycling Association in South Huron said in a Facebook post. Are you following them on Facebook?
I always
They're a good follow.
Them. I scroll
they get
through
in
all
there
of their
a little
posts.
bit. A lot of posts.
I get notifications.
I
when
like
they
their
post.
Christmas posts. Most Unwanted April edition. They have a most unwanted. These are like
which
things
is like
that
it's like a version of America's Most Wanted. It's
Canada's most unwanted. April edition.
Throw it away.
That someone put a metal sword in the blue box recycling bin. The post said the sword was found before going through our machinery, or it could have caused expensive damage. It could have. That can cause damage.
Who thinks a sword can be recyclable? Like, I know there's that old prayer that says, let's beat our
Plowshares,
our swords into plowshares.
I always thought it was plowshares into swords, but it's swords into plowshares.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's like the peaceful version
Here's
of it.
my question. Was it Valyrian Steel? And I know you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's a Game of Thrones reference, but I can't believe the guy didn't try and stick it in a rock at his neighbor's yard. That would have been great.
Or like near a rock.
Get that out, Dave.
Yeah. Like a rock.
So the association said the sword's former owner might have been better off turning the weapon into a secondhand sword. Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you would see on Pawn Store.
Hey,
Pawn
don't
stores.
tell this guy where to put his sword. Or unless you want to fight him for it.
Fight
him for
fight
the
him for
right to give it to a secondhand store. I kind of like that.
Yes.
Just because something is made of metal and maybe perfectly recyclable at a local scrapyard, this is what they're saying, doesn't mean it's acceptable in the blue box for recycling. That's what the post said.
Right.
Nobody there at this Ontario company was like, cool, a sword. This guy's recycling. I'll take it. Like, no, once you put it in the bin and it's gone, like, I don't know. People go through the bins all the time and they take stuff out. I have no clue. You ever we'll schedule what's called a bulky item pickup.
Bulky item pickup. If you have something too big, you leave it on your curb.
I don't think the bulky item people have ever picked up the stuff.
Because you leave something on the curb, someone takes it.
So what I'm saying is you work for this recycling company and you're like, this guy should have taken it to a secondhand store. You should take it to a secondhand store.
Sell it.
Really? You can't just pick it up and go? Like, what is keeping that person who is
You go,
saying,
whoa. This is the point where you go, and when that happens, you go, whoa, I just saved our machines. Now I'm going to see what I can get for this thing.
You're welcome, machines. Now I'm going to pat myself on the back and get something that I want by going to a secondhand store. What, do they not like secondhand stores? You're just going to rip this guy in a Facebook post?
Yeah.
Recycling companies, to me, this is the thing that I hate about them. Constantly reusing Facebook posts.
Yeah, they take
a Facebook post that someone else has used, and they'll just spit it back out and spit it back out and spit it back out.
People trash that post and then they put it up.
Placing pots and pans, bakeware, chains, electrical extension cords, nuts and bolts, etc., in blue boxes simply adds to the contamination and downtime in processing
facilities. So when it's there, they say they have to shut everything down. They have to pull these things out. Don't just throw something.
This also has potential risk of injury
Yes.
to our employees. You know what also adds to a potential risk of injury for your employees is when they take out a sword and start horsing around with it.
Did they do that though?
No, but I wanted them to.
But I mean, if they
this begs the question to me: is there a medieval times nearby? Because they'll
take it.
They'll take it and put it right above the hostess stand.
Right?
You know, they'll take it and someone will use it.
Like a sword rack. The old version of a gun rack.
So I'm assuming that jousting poles are not recyclable either.
No.
Is that right?
They're wood.
Are they wood?
They're
No, there's
wood.
some of them are like metal
No, they're
jousting
wood.
poles.
They're wood. I think they're wood.
I would take that sword.
You would take the sword.
I would take the sword.
I think
I would use it today because a sword to me is very end of days. It feels like we're in a little bit of an apocalypse right now. This is an apocalypse of sorts.
So you're saying you would use it to protect your family if there was an intruder.
I would put the sword right inside my front door. Just right inside the front hall closet.
I know where that is.
And just lean it up against the thing. I have a bat there now, but I would put the sword next to the bat, and it's like pick your poison.
Closet.
Who wants to come in here pick your poison?
Although the sword...
Guess what you never run out of ammo with? A sword.
Yeah. And if you want to go into a store and say, I'm going to slash prices...
You can literally slash prices on this love seat. So here's my question, though.
Remember Steve? What was it? Steve?
No.
Brooke Dubman.
Brooke Dubman.
In St. Louis.
St. Louis, local commercial guy. And if things get so bad, you can literally fall on your sword, and then that's the end.
That's the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Brooke Dubman, St. Louis.
Local commercial guy.
Was it Brooke Dubman Furniture?
Brooke Dubman's Furniture. Carroll House Furniture. Because you like nice things.
Carroll House Furnitures. Because you like nice things. So Brooke Dubman, our joke was that Brooke Dubman and that company celebrated whenever there was a natural disaster.
Last week, lightning struck my uncle.
As tornadoes ripped through Missouri.
That's why we're giving you cutting prices on this love seat. Last Saturday, the Taliban attacked...
In 2001, the Taliban attacked our freedom. That's why we're
going to declare a war on high prices.
We should dig that old bit out.
Dig it. We just did.
We should dig it out on stage.
A war on high prices.
A war on high prices. Don't throw away your swords. This is a very simple lesson in this. If you don't know if it goes in recycling or not, it probably doesn't.
That's right.
Throw it in the trash or put it above your door or donate it to a medieval times
or give it to your local police department. Say, here, you guys might need this.
Hey,
you never know.
Ride around with one of these.
You never know. Brandish a sword to a fight. There you go.
Done.
Okay, there you go. First story down. We got great stuff coming up. People again always ask us what are some podcasts that we should be listening to.
Yes.
And we have a nice stable of amazing podcasts in the Sklar Brother Country Network. One of them that we love so much, it's such a fun time. We were on it. It's just an improv riff fest with people of the highest order. We're talking about mega. If you've ever wanted to know what it's like inside of a mega church,
these guys are so funny.
They're so funny.
They make me so happy.
They left us a voicemail. We're going to play this as we head into break, and we'll see you guys on the other side of the break. And also thank you to Detroit for providing us the music. Detroit from Minneapolis, no longer a band, but love them in the late 90s and early 2000s. We love you guys, and we'll see you on the other side of the break.
Hey, Sklar Bros.
Hey, guys, how are you?
So we've been thinking about you because, you are our brothers in Christ and you're also actual brothers.
That's right. And since we're from a megachurch, we were thinking of great biblical brothers.
Like Cain and Abel.
Well, he murdered his brother.
Or Jacob and Esau.
Stole his brother's birthright.
Or Joseph and his brothers.
They literally sold him into slavery.
So, okay, I don't know. We know it's hard times out there and, everybody's at their wits' end and, with this quarantine going on and on and on, we decided to come up with a special prayer to help you all through these trying times.
And it's an acronym, so it's easy to remember.
Okay, so it's called the Kovat Prayer. Here we go. Kovat. C. Christians are safe because we're washed in the blood, but...
Oh, Lord, am I being tested?
V. Victory is mine, says the Lord, but...
I cannot stand being inside with my family anymore.
Divine intervention is needed before I kill them all.
19 is the perfect age to get married.
Amen. So, I feel at peace, knowing that God is in control in these times.
Listen to Mega with a new episode dropping every Sunday.
You gotta let the cello sing. And he said, you gotta let the cello sing.
Okay, guys, welcome back. So news is still happening. Obviously.
I get sort of. I mean, any news that doesn't fall under the COVID-19 rubric, for me, almost doesn't qualify as news.
Well, this next story is fantastic.
Well, this next story is about a story about how when the news itself is the news.
Yeah, this is the news becoming the news.
This would be like if Huey Lewis's band released an album.
Right. You're saying the news is becoming news.
Right.
In many ways.
Yes.
I'll say this on the local level. Of course, there's still going to be. If squirrels are still water skiing out there, and they are, because you can socially distance as a squirrel and still water ski, there's going to be local news.
How many times have you turned on the TV and just heard a 4-alarm fire on the 2000th block of
that's it.
That's just literally, I just hear that and it's white noise.
So this story just happened the other day in the Dirty Dirty. We're talking about Atlanta. Here's the headline. Atlanta woman arrested for stealing a news van with a reporter inside and crashing it a short time later.
This feels like something that should have happened in Florida. I know Georgia is
Florida-Georgia
adjacent.
line. Florida-Georgia line. I don't know.
It's
Atlanta.
I know it's not really on the border.
But still.
So this does feel like something that would happen in Pensacola.
Right.
As opposed to Atlanta.
Right. So everyone was fine in the end. I mean, I don't know if the person who stole it is fine, except for the camera guy who was like, wait, can you crash it one more time? I wasn't rolling. Can we just get one more?
Let's do that one more time
for safety.
Well, I'm going to get out and we're going to have you do the exact same thing just so I have
he was
it from
out.
another
He
angle.
was out. So here's the story.
Right.
It happened around 6 a.m. in Midtown Atlanta.
So 6 a.m. is when these guys are working. 6 a.m. is the end of
this woman's night.
Crazy woman's night.
The end of an incredibly fun party.
Yes.
Atlanta officer Steve Avery.
Stephen Avery.
Steve.
Me.
I didn't kill her.
I didn't kill that woman.
Said police and a CBS 46 WGCL TV news reporter and photographer were investigating a car crash. So they're investigating a car crash.
Why are they investigating it?
They're investigating
Cops should be investigating it. They should be arriving on the scene.
Wait. At 270 17th Street in Northwest Atlanta when this crime happened.
That's nuts. So they showed up to a crime.
Investigating a car crash when they were then part of a car crash.
Yeah. That's like Jordan Rubin, our old buddy Jordan Rubin. Great joke. Love this joke. His joke was his impression, I guess, of him. He was saying New York City cab drivers are so bad that he will just tell them, go ahead and let me off up here in this accident that you're causing.
Yeah. So maybe the woman didn't want them, quote unquote, investigating the car crash. We'll find out more.
Yes.
Did anyone think of that?
No.
When the photographer or the
photographer
or the cameraman got out of the van to set up his camera, police said the 38-year-old Saniqua Lunsford.
Saniqua Lunsford sounds like a number of people we went to high school.
Saniqua Lunsford.
There was there Shantae Peoples?
Shantae Peoples. Shantae Happy Peoples.
Shantae Happy Peoples. There was who Lattimore?
Ron K. Lattimore.
Ron K. Lattimore and Shantae Lattimore. Pretty little summer day.
Anyway, we screwed that up.
It was Ron K. Lattimore, pretty little one that I adore.
Yeah.
You're the only one my heart beats for. You're the only one.
How I wish that you were mine. Saniqua Lunsford was involved in the original crash, jumped into the news van, and drove away. She was involved in the original crash.
And she's like, I'm not sticking around for this.
Okay.
I don't need to give quotes on the news. Let me steal the news.
Stole the news van. She's having quite a night, Saniqua Lunsford.
She's killing it.
CBS reporter Ayani Hughes was still in the back of the van editing video.
Why is she editing video on the fly?
As soon as she noticed what was going on, police said Hughes shouted for help. She shouted, slow down, I still have to have the graphics.
Let me do this circle wide.
Officers got in the car, then followed the stolen van. So officers were there.
Yeah, this is
Bad
not
time to steal a van.
You want to steal a van when no one's around.
Did the woman think she was going to drive into another life? Did Saniqua feel like I'm going to drive off this set?
Maybe people think like, oh my God, this is what I think she thought.
Right. I'm curious to hear your...
I think she thought if no one saw her get into the van and go,
right,
she would think that
the news...
Like, oh my God, some other crazy news thing is happening right now. We got to get out of here.
But the cameraman is still outside of the news.
Agree. It makes no sense.
Nobody's going to miss this news van that was reporting on my other crash, is what she thought to herself. Channel 2's Tom Reagan was at the scene and talked to Avery. The reporter...
So she's already been interviewed.
The reporter inside tried to make the woman stop and pull the suspect over, but the suspect wouldn't do that.
Stephen Avery says this.
So the reporter did the smart thing, and she got into her seat and put her seatbelt on. The vehicle continued to the location where it ultimately crashed.
Okay,
and everyone's fine.
So you're in the back seat of this
radio.
Yeah.
Can you just turn on? Do you like smooth jazz? I love smooth jazz.
Or if you're in the back, and you are hoping that you survive this, when do you feel comfortable enough to be like, can we switch this? I don't love this.
Or can we just get a little more air? I'm sorry. I know you're trying to steal this thing.
Is it weird? Because the windows are locked and I would love...
The van crashed near 250 The Prado.
I don't even know
What is that?
Sounds terrible.
It sounds like a movie.
Sounds like a museum.
It sounds like the prequel to Perdition Road.
Yes.
250 The Prado.
Yes.
Hughes, who is pregnant.
Wait a second. So the woman who stole the car is
so
the woman
just
who
wait.
stole the van.
The woman who's the reporter
who's
is
in the
pregnant.
back, who's editing, is pregnant.
Thankfully, not hurt.
Okay.
The
Well,
reporter was pregnant.
let's hope the
This story
pregnancy
does
is
not
okay.
have enough twists and turns yet. How great was she was pregnant? They crashed. She gave birth in the back of the car.
No.
Police arrested Lunsford, who is also pregnant.
Wait a second. What?
Lunsford is pregnant too.
This is some female on. And by the way, car crash not great for a pregnancy.
No,
so I
but
hope their pregnancies
they're
are okay.
both fine. But the crazy thing is, I feel like that should have been spoken about.
Or
Hey,
these babies should be best friends in like
these
life.
babies should grow
40 years from now.
They get married.
They-
And this is
even if they're the same sex, they should get married.
get married. Crash,
especially if they're the same sex.
crash into you.
Crash Into You is their song played by
Dave Matthews.
Dave Matthews Band at their wedding.
David Matthews.
Yes.
She should have understood what everyone was going through at this point. Is there such a thing as prepartum depression? Is that
Yes,
a thing?
there is a thing.
prepartum.
Yes, absolutely there is.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's never underestimate the power of the hormones of a pregnant woman.
Yeah, she
because
may
that
not
could-
have been in
she
control of
might,
these decisions.
As a pregnant
Probably a
woman,
woman who's isolated. I mean, if this is happening in the time of Corona,
she was taken to the hospital with an injured arm. It's unclear if the injury was from the first or the second crash. That's not good.
that's how you know you're having a bad day. If they're like, we don't know which crime this injury came from.
and that was her goal, to confuse the issue.
She kind of did.
Mission accomplished.
There you go. But what do you ring her up for?
Officers said Lunsford was acting strange at the time. You think?
She is pregnant.
Police said
there is no real
let's start by saying she's pregnant.
pregnant people baseline are crazy, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Your hormones are out of whack.
You are making a human being.
You're
in there.
baking a person inside of you. There's no way
There
you
are
can be acting
moments
normal.
where just people who are pregnant women are sitting on couches saying, "I'd like to go steal a news van and crash it right now."
And everyone's like, yeah, we get it.
We get it.
Add on top of that, Ran, being socially distanced and being isolated and stay-at-home orders. I mean, it's Georgia, so they're probably not enforcing it.
No,
but
they're
still.
not at all. She'll be charged with at least kidnapping. Other charges likely. Is she kidnapping for two because of the other? Because
She already is kind of
She's kidnapping
kidnapping.
for two. She's kidnapping, but is she napping
Shouldn't it be-
Hughes's kid?
And I think it should be kidnapping. I don't think kidnapping is right.
No.
That's always bothered me when I hear the words kidnapping.
And what about adult napping? If it's
Well,
an
but
adult,
you're not-
but if you're kidnapping an adult, then that's adult napping.
Right. And it should be nabbing.
It's stealing a human being.
Nab. He
Nabbed
nabbed
her.
her. He didn't nap her. He didn't put her to sleep. She didn't put this woman to sleep and then drive the van away. She nabbed her.
You want to hear Avery's advice in the news van?
Kidnapping.
Get a second key, so at the very least you can lock your door. That's smart.
Someone was in the van. I don't think they thought they needed to lock the door. Do you lock the doors when you're sitting in your car?
It happened so fast. It could have been tragic. Yeah, don't leave the car running with the keys in it either. How about
No.
that?
Not while you're editing.
That feels like action news number one. You're out, you set the camera up. Don't leave the car running because you
Like
got
they threw it into park and just flew out of the car.
That's right. Along with don't go to early morning calls if you're pregnant. Hey, maybe don't send this woman out to investigate this thing when she's pregnant. Yeah, she's up, but maybe we don't put her in
maybe
the line
she
of
stays
fire.
back. Yeah, maybe she stays back at the office.
Yeah.
She can take if somebody goes ahead and if someone goes so far as to say records the story and then she can transcribe it back
There
at the
you go.
office. She doesn't need to be out there in the field.
There you go. So
By the way, I love that story.
Me too.
And for me, what I love about that story the most is that they can't hold over each other the pregnant card. So I bet when she was start stealing the car and riding around, she's like, I can do whatever I want because I'm pregnant.
that's right.
And then you got a person in the backseat who's like, no, you can't. I just topped you. I'm pregnant. Then it becomes who's pregnant for longer. It's like a tiebreaker in the NFL.
In terms of who's been carrying for longer.
Who's got the most wins?
Who's caring for
Who's been
longer?
caring for this baby for longer?
Then if it's the same, there's a coin flip.
Then it's
There's
like
a
who's had a
pacifier
more
flip.
difficult
That's right.
pregnancy?
Who had more morning sickness in the first trimester? You get it.
Stats.
So that's crazy.
Yes.
And that's a level of excitement that most people are not experiencing these days.
I've never experienced that in my life.
I am bored. Many people are bored.
Oh, yeah, we're bored.
And since we're all around and at home, I feel like we're all starting to get on each other's nerves.
Yes.
Case in point, a British police department posted a reminder on Twitter not to call their emergency number, which is 999, not 911, 999, to report a neighbor for snoring. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about this.
I mean,
I sleep with a sound machine on so loud, just to keep from anyone snoring. Like, it needs to be on so loud. I don't want to hear my wife. I don't want to hear my kids. I don't want to hear the English bulldog, Roman.
Who will also
Who
snore.
is loud? Who is loud? I want to hear anyone. I have like the rains that I put on my sound machine are so torrential.
So I think someone needs to create. I know we put it on the snorer, and I will
Put
snore.
it on the snore. Hang it on the snore.
I know you hang on the snore.
I snore too. I'm sorry.
I do it too. But like, I think someone needs to create smaller, better earplugs that are easier to insert, that don't make you feel so weird.
We need better earplug technology.
I think we're focusing on the wrong part of the problem, because the person who's snoring is not totally bothered by it.
And I think that earplug technology should be given to police departments, that if someone does complain about their neighbor.
I got a snorer. We'll be right there.
Right. Here you go.
Yeah.
The Essex Police Communications Officer tweeted that a call came in Sunday to the department's 999 emergency number, reporting that the caller could hear someone snoring loudly. Now, I'm still not on the police's side here. Like, they're annoyed, but I'm not. You have to understand how annoying snoring is.
Well, because there's not a lot you can do about it in that moment.
If it keeps you up for a long period of time.
If it's not someone in your house, and if it's not someone in your bed,
and you can't do anything about
there's
it.
not a lot you can do about it.
You do want to kill that person after like an hour or two. Like, you're
Yes.
like, I want to destroy that person.
I want to murder you.
So I ask you, Essex Police, would you rather the person go over
Commit a
and
crime.
kill the person, or
property damage, or other. They were just trying to get ahead of the crime.
or call you guys about it? Think
Yeah.
of it like a noise violation, right? If someone's
Yes.
playing their music too loud,
It is a noise violation.
an unusual
It's noise pollution is what it is.
999 call at this time of day. Caller reported they can hear someone snoring. Advice was given to them. Advice
Come on.
that
Definitely, like,
snoring is not a reason. That's a way of the
that's
advice.
condescension. Like condescending advice was given to this person.
Advice was piss off, you wanker.
Yeah.
The tweet used the hashtag emergencies only, reminding the public that the 999 number is only for reporting emergency
Right. We get
situations.
that. We understand that.
I don't know if I agree with the police here.
Yeah.
I really don't. And I usually do. I'm usually on the side of the police like 99% of the time in these scenarios.
So this was coming from a different person's house, yay?
Yeah. I think they could use reasonable force to get someone to stop snoring.
At least kick a door down.
Chokehold.
I don't think I say kick a door down with one of those, like, that thing that
Or
you push through
what
the
if
door.
they had the power to sentence someone to a sleep apnea study? Order this person to get a CPAP by power of the state.
the
of
CPAP machine? That feels like such a commitment.
It is the
Sounds-
It really is. It's like your own sleep study you have to perform on yourself
every
night.
single night. There's no way you can feel comfortable in that.
More needs to be done on behalf of, on the benefit of
Like
people
to
dealing
be
with
every
snores.
night, if you have a CPAP, you're like, I'm going to become Bane,
Right.
from Star Wars.
That's right.
Watch me.
Star Wars?
I mean, Batman.
Yeah. So the idea is,
thing. Same.
I don't know how I feel about this, and I do think the police should be given more powers to stop snoring that is affecting you in certain ways.
You're saying shoot and then ask questions later.
Nope. I'm saying order them to get a CPAP machine. It's like ordering people to clear brush around
Like a
their house.
court order.
Yep. Court order. Boom. Slapped with it.
That's fair.
Order them to go through a sleep apnea study.
Because you know if that person was called out, and you know if they were called, they would be defiant.
Yep.
They would feel
Say-
upset about it, and
so
they
mad.
would open their windows and
act
make
like
it worse.
a jerk to make
it worse.
They would put a microphone out and amplify the sounds of their snores.
So if that happened, then I think you as the neighbor have the right to start doing some
You
damage.
have every right.
You have the
every
right to start doing damage to their house.
Right. And with that,
We say,
see you later. This was a great show. Thank you guys so much. Go punch a waterfall, then water faucet, then go wash your hands. Stay socially distant, but stay connected to each other. It's super important. We love doing the show for you guys, and I hope you're enjoying it too. Send us comment on the Instagram page if you do, or on the YouTube page. We love hearing back from you guys on anything. Give us new names for the show. What do you want to hear? We'll read comments and great funny things and stories and whatnot. Someone told us the other day on the show about the 64-year-old guy who shot himself out of the thing that they
worked in the Navy. And now they work for Lockheed Martin, and they say
the eject thing is far too...
It happens all the time.
It happens all the time. People get ejected. So
they hit the wrong button.
Little did we know. Thank you for that piece of information. We love all this interaction, so keep it coming, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da-da.